The entire village was gathered in the courtyard that day. Hundreds of people. Elders sitting on charpoys. Kids running around. Men whispering in small groups. And at the center of it all was the most powerful man in the village, Chaudhry Sahab. A man who had humiliated me for 12 years. A man who stole my father's land, ruined my reputation, and turned my own village against me. But that day, everything changed. Because in front of everyone, I pulled out a 7-page file, and within 10 minutes, the richest man in the village became completely homeless. And the man everyone called Idiot Raja owned everything he had. Before we get into this story, I want you to think about something. Have you ever been underestimated? Ever had someone treat you like you were stupid, powerless, or beneath them? If you've ever dreamed of watching someone who wronged you finally face the consequences, then make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and stay until the end. Because this story is one of the most patient and satisfying revenge stories you'll ever hear. The beginning. This all started back in 2012. I was only 22 years old. My father had just passed away after a sudden illness. One week he was healthy. The next week we were burying him. When everything settled, I learned that he had left me 8 acres of land just outside the village. Not ordinary land. Fertile soil. A working tube well. Perfect location. Anyone who understood farming knew this land was worth millions. But I was young, inexperienced, and in villages like ours, power doesn't belong to the young. It belongs to men like Chaudhry Sahab. He was the biggest landlord in the area. People respected him, feared him, depended on him. A few days after my father's funeral, one of his workers came to my house. Chaudhry Sahab wants to see you. When someone like him calls you, you go. The first trap. That evening, I went to his large farmhouse. He welcomed me with tea and fake kindness. "Beta," he said gently, "you're too young to manage land like this." He leaned forward and placed his hand on my shoulder. "Give the land to me. I'll take care of everything. Every year, I'll give you 50,000 rupees rent." Even at 22, I knew that deal was terrible. I politely refused. I still remember the moment his smile disappeared. It lasted only a second, but I saw it. The mask slipped, and that's when everything started. The public humiliation. A week later, the entire village was called for a meeting. I thought it was something important. Instead, I walked straight into a trap. In front of everyone, Chaudhry Sahab stood up and said loudly, "This boy is an idiot. He will sell the land and waste the money. I'm buying the land to save him from himself." People began whispering. Then, elders started speaking. "Listen to Chaudhry Sahab. He knows what's best. Don't be foolish, Raja." One by one, they pressured me. Uncles, neighbors, men who had eaten food in my house. Eventually, someone put papers in front of me. "Just sign. It's better for you." I didn't understand everything written there, but the pressure, the humiliation, the confusion, it broke me. So I signed. Later that night, I learned the truth. I had just sold 8 acres worth millions for 200,000 rupees. When I went home crying, my mother said quietly, "Beta, stay quiet. These are powerful people." The birth of Idiot Raja. From that day forward, I was no longer just Raja. I became Idiot Raja. Every wedding, every Eid gathering, every village meeting, someone would laugh and say, "Hey, idiot, how's life without your land?" And the worst part? Chaudhry Sahab enjoyed it the most. Every time he saw me, he would smirk and say, "How are you, idiot brother?" People laughed. And for 12 years, I never reacted. Not once. No shouting, no fighting, no arguments, just silence. But silence doesn't always mean weakness. Sometimes, silence means planning. Year 1, I opened a small roadside shop. People thought I had accepted my fate. They believed I was just trying to survive. But the shop wasn't my real plan. It was my cover. Every day, farmers came to buy supplies. Laborers came to rest. Workers from Chaudhry Sahab's fields stopped by constantly. I listened, asked small questions, made friends. Slowly, pieces of information began falling into place. And what I learned was interesting. Chaudhry Sahab wasn't just powerful, he was careless. The secrets. The more I listened, the more I discovered. He was evading taxes, forging documents, taking massive bank loans he had no intention of repaying, hiding income, using fake accounts. Most powerful men think they are untouchable. That arrogance was his weakness. So I started documenting everything. Quietly, carefully, patiently. Years 2 to 10, this was the longest part and the hardest. For nearly a decade, I lived 2 lives. In public, I was the harmless village idiot. In private, I was building a case, piece by piece. I befriended his accountant's son, helped him with studies. Eventually, he trusted me. I got access to financial information. I built relationships with people who mattered. The patwari, the lawyer, even the tehsildar. Nothing illegal, just small favors, respect, gifts during festivals. Slowly, doors opened. Meanwhile, Chaudhry Sahab kept growing careless. More fake documents, more shady deals, more signatures, and every signature became another piece of my plan. Every night before sleeping, I told myself one thing: just wait. One day, the opportunity. 12 years passed. Then last month, the perfect opportunity appeared. The village announced a big gathering. Chaudhry Sahab was planning to donate land for a new madrasa, a public event. Everyone invited. The entire village gathered that afternoon. Children ran around the courtyard. Elders sat proudly in the front rows. And on the stage sat Chaudhry Sahab, like a king. People were praising him, calling him generous, a great man. Then, someone noticed me walking in. Look, even the idiot came. Laughter spread across the crowd. But this time, I smiled, because everything was finally ready. When donation time started, people began coming forward. Small amounts, a few thousand here, a few thousand there. Then I stood up, walked calmly to the stage, and said loudly, "Chaudhry Sahab, I would also like to donate." He looked amused. "Oh really, Raja? What will you donate?" I said clearly into the microphone. 8 acres of land. The entire village exploded with laughter. Someone shouted, "The idiot thinks he owns land again." Even Chaudhry Sahab laughed. "Wonderful, Raja. Show us the papers." That was the moment. I placed a thick folder on the table, 47 pages, and began turning them. Page 1, the original documents from 2012. Page 2, 3, 4, each page revealing something new. Illegal accounts, forged signatures, loan transfers, property documents, signed authorizations. Then the final papers, documents signed by Chaudhry Sahab himself, transferring ownership of his properties for administrative purposes related to the madrasa event. He thought they were formalities. They were not. They were legal transfers. Land, houses, tractors, bank accounts, everything. His hands began shaking as he flipped the pages. His face turned pale. The courtyard became completely silent. Finally, I took the microphone and said calmly, "For 12 years you called me an idiot." I looked straight at him. Today I learned something. The real idiot isn't the person who stays quiet. The real idiot is the one who thinks the quiet person will stay quiet forever. The crowd erupted. People stood up. Some were shocked. Some applauded. Some elders actually started crying. The patwari stepped forward and confirmed everything. Legally, everything now belongs to Raja. Chaudhry Sahab had nothing. Within weeks, his land was gone, his houses were gone, even his tractors were gone. Today, he lives in a rented room outside the village. And me, I built the madrasa, just like promised. But I gave it a special name, Idiot Raja Madrasa. Every Friday, people come there. They shake my hand and say one thing. "Raja Bhai, you taught the village a lesson. Life teaches you something important. Revenge doesn't always happen quickly. Sometimes the strongest move isn't shouting. It's waiting, watching, planning, and choosing the perfect moment. Because patience can turn the weakest man in the room into the most powerful one." If this story shocked you, let me ask you something. Do you think what Raja did was revenge or justice? Tell me your opinion in the comments. And if you enjoy powerful real-life revenge stories like this, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, because the next story might be even crazier than this one.